going to present a project on revolutionizing train toilet with hygiene and sanitation. Before entering into my presentation, I would like to share the problem statement. Once upon a time, me and my friend traveling in time. At that time, my friend didn't use the toilet. I inquired about it. He told that many of the train toilets are unclean. If I use that, it will also unhygiene to me. For that, I used to make it as a product, and then I make it as a product development. For that, which will be helpful to the people who are traveling in the train. For that the reason, I am first using a two push buttons. First one is an enter, and then second one is an exit push button. For that, if someone wants to enter into the toilet means they used to make the push button. At the time, door lock will open, and then it will check the turbidity sensor until it goes to clean. The motor will run. Here the motor will run using the solenoid valve. It will run, and then I'm using extra for that. For that sanitation, I will make a motor used to connect with the sanitation. For that the reason, until it will goes to clean the dirty water and then clean water, the motor will run. And then second one is I am using a load cell connected with an HX711 amplifier. For that, if someone wants to enter into the toilet, they sit on the toilet. At the time, weight will increase, and then they stand on the toilet. At the time, the motor will run. Here we can see that the relay module will on. At the time, use of solenoid valve, it will run the water until it goes to normal clean. It will run that. Here it will off the solenoid valve, and then I am using that for the exit. I am using an exit push button. At that time, the lock will open, and then I am using IR sensor. For that, the IR sensor is used to 010 condition. For that, if some person wants to enter in the toilet, they open the toilet. At the time, it will act as an on, and then if they exit the toilet, it will close. That is 010 condition. Based on that, it will run. And then second one is an water control mechanism. For that, the water control mechanism, I have been used two types of water tanks. Why I am used two types of water tanks means in every train toilet it will having 12 to 14 compartments. Every compartment having every separate water toilet. Every separate water toilet having separate water tank. If the water will refill at 2-1 from station. At the time, if there is no water in the middle of the time, they can't use the toilet. For that the reason, I have indicated two water tanks used to connect with an ARM processor, ARM Cortex M3 processor. Why I am using an ARM Cortex M3 processor means it have on 133 kilohertz of clock speed. Based on the timing, it will run. For that, here I am just to make it as a 2-1 is an empty. If I fill the water means here I used to fill the water. It will increase. Here it is filled. It is tank 2 has an greater than of the threshold value. It will refill the water. Once again, I am just making it with tank. I am just emptying the tank 1. I am just emptying the tank 1, and then tank 2 has an enough threshold value. It will use to for our confirmation. I use OLED. It will calculate that I am just refilling the water. I am just refilling the water. It goes to less than that. When I am used to decrease the water, it will goes to the threshold value, and then it goes to 0. It will automatically. The motor will run, and then it will automatically enhance the equalize the water, and then the motor will off until it goes to 0. And then for that, and then I am using an RF communication between them. This is an trans receiver, this is an transmitter. Why I am here using an RF communication means both the LP and then ALP used to connect with the guard using RF communications using cellular. I am using the same communication with that. For that reason, and here it will use to check how much of water is present in the separate toilet. For the prototype, I made a two ones. For 2 tanks, I am just to make it 1, and then if there is no water in the toilet, use of alarm, it will alarm the both pilots. And then I am using an ESP32 used to connect with the firmware for my project, and then I have been used to develop on the firmware for my project. This is a firmware used to connect whole my setup in an format. For that the train loco pilots and pilot used to connect with that. At the time they used to connect that firmware for that. For that I am using using the train name as Aircard Express. uh, and then I set the train number is 012. Okay, if I save the information, means it will use to save the information in the Google slides, and then it will enter the data, and then the data has been sent. If the data has been sent, it will use to make that if any fault is find, means it will automatically use to accommodate in it. And then I have make the prototype of that all the one, and then I have used it to make the firmware for that. This is my project.